Outermost in the Oslo fjord, we are welcomed by the Foetida lighthouse. Its beam of light has guided sailors safely through the fjord for more than 300 years. But even since the days of the Vikings, the fjord has been the arena of sea transport to and from the port of Oslo, 100 kilometers beyond. The pilots board the vessels out here at Foetida and guide them safely to harbor. This is one of Oslo's more than 7,000 visits a year. Pilots have done this for generations, only the sailboat has been replaced by a powerful motorboat. Islets and rocks form a natural barrier between the fjord and the sea. The old fortress Oscarsborg lies in the sound by Drøbak. In April 1940, this fortress delayed the German fleet on its way to Oslo, allowing the king and cabinet to escape before the occupation. The destroyer Blücher was hit and sank in flames north of Drøbak. Many lost their lives here on the first day of war in Norway. A myriad of small islands provide country living for people working in Oslo. They can moor their boats by the kitchen door and be in town in no time at all. The fjord widens to a sight to warm every sailor's heart. Norway's 3 school ships on their way into Oslo, impressive representatives of our maritime traditions. The full-rigged Christian Radich has been a prominent sight in the port of Oslo for many years. On the west side of the approach to Oslo lies Bygdøy, with the King's Farm and many central museums of national importance. An idyllic spot just a few minutes' drive from the city center. This bay, with hundreds of pleasure craft, was in earlier times an active port of shipment for timber, primarily to Holland. The royal yacht is in its usual berth, easily seen by the city dwellers and visiting tourists. This island has a central position in the harbor and is a part of the city's history with its monastery from the 12th century. With its gun batteries and powder magazine, it marked the southernmost post of Akershus fortress. Let's go back about 1,000 years in time, when the road from the rich hinterlands met the fjord at Bjørvika and laid the foundations for Oslo. Maria's church was built around the year 1050. At the same time, Clemens Church was refurbished. Oslo, with its churches, monasteries and king's estate, now built in stone, became a religious and secular power during the 12th and 13th centuries. but the city was also haunted by recurring fires and plagues. 17th of August 1624. Disaster. Most of the city, docks and marine buildings are destroyed by fire. King Christian IV ordered that the city be rebuilt, but this time under the protective walls of Akershus fortress. The city was renamed Christiania after the king and enjoyed a period of economic growth. The newly restored city was dependent on maritime trade. The docks were constantly expanded during the 18th and 19th centuries. Sail ships from many countries and with many kinds of cargo dominated the port. The new king, Håkon VII, came to Norway with his young family in 1905. Numerous fjord taxi boats tell of a time with poor land transport. Again, an event of national importance, the 7th of June 1945. The royal family returns after 5 years in exile. And so, back to our own time. Let's take a trip around the port to see what's happening. The connection between the needs of the city dwellers and the port is just as clear today as it always has been. But first to Akershus fortress, which lies in the middle of the port area and is a regular attraction on the itinerary for cruise ship tourists visiting Oslo. King Håkon V began the construction during the 14th century. King Christian IV restored and extended both the castle and the battlements. This colorful procession at the end of the 700-year jubilee in 1999 marks the part the castle has played in important national events throughout history. So let's leave Akershus and its history and have a look at what is happening today. The annual Foetida Regatta, with around 1,000 boats of different types and sizes, dominate the harbor as the start takes place innermost in the port. This underlines that the port is not just a place of transport or business, but also a place for recreation and sport. The country's largest dedicated container terminal lies on the eastern side of the port. Containers are in fact only a large form for packaging, which makes it easy to unload from ships and over to trains and trailers. When a consumer in Oslo buys something, there's a strong possibility that the goods have arrived in the port in a container. This is the way that around 4 million tons of freight come to Oslo each year. Shipping, being the most environmentally friendly form of transport, is on the increase on a global basis. Without the port of Oslo, there would be many more trailers on the roads around the capital. Loading and unloading of containers from ships is handled by special cranes which have been built specifically for this purpose. This type of container vessel comes to Oslo on a daily basis.